打ちつかれたこの鼓動は無力で儚いもの痛みは空よりもうららかに
I'm pissed so bad, but I need to be here for this opening. All right. At this pace, you'll finish Higurashi by August or September? Motherfucker, what do you want me to do? A whole chapter a day? Huh? Let me go take a piss. I'll be right back. You guys can sit in the silence with the Higurashi.
Chat, let me put you on. Woo isn't just a game, it's a snooze fest. The combat? Boring as shit. Uninteresting characters, and mechanics that actually reward button mashing. The animations? Shit. Every frame is a gooner's dreams that makes other Omni Gotcha games look like they were made by professionals. The story? Snooze. It's got slop, same flat voice acting, and characters you actually forget about. And the devs? They actually do not care a single bit.
Hop Brother is such an unfriendly, dishonest, disloyal, untrustworthy, undependable, closed-minded, thoughtless, stupid, immature, unethical, cowardly, deconstructive, unproductive, regressive, socialistic, unobservant, messy, late, illogical, slow,
Chat, y'all listening? I just want to make this clear right here, right now. Y'all are so beautiful, chat. You make me feel... You make me feel some way, you know. I'll burst, but I do.
All right. Let's go. No more stalling. Lock in. Camera. The autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner. Entire body bound in restraints. Traces left behind from when the body seemed to have been bound indicated usage of specific restraining table rather than rope or another common method. Finger joints on either hand appeared to have bound especially tightly. Highly likely that the table was either specially made or homemade given this information. Both ears and nose severed with a sharp blade. Traces of restraint and other things seem to suggest there was at least one more other than the one who severed these body parts holding down the victim's head. Possible that multiple blades were used, with one of them most likely being scissors or shears. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. Oh god, it's fucking it's a fucking Mion thing. One long nail stuck in each joint of each finger on each hand for a total of 30. The deceased's fingers were nailed to wooden planks 20 square centimeters large. Extremely likely these planks were part of the restraining table. In addition, it is likely that the table was originally designed for just such a purpose. Abdomen incised, intestines removed. The incision in the abdomen is likely to have been a technique grounded in medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated that there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. After this, the organs inside the incision were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of this process. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a commercial pet collar, the victim was likely abandoned in the Oiji River's third drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it is highly wait, is this the person we found dead in the beginning, chat? It might be. It's highly possible they would have needed at least 3 grown men to have disposed of the body. To Ooishi-san, here's a copy of the preliminary autopsy of the slaughtered corpse in the Oiji River. Chief Shigeharu sees this as a possible relation to the S group. What are your thoughts, Ooishi-san? S group? Sonozaki group? It might be the Sonozaki group. Oh, let's keep going. Oh, that's bright.
おはよう、ケイチ。あら、ゆうべは何時に寝たの？
I did not sleep well last night at all. My mother could tell from a single glance. I had the worst dreams. Nightmares, very ominous dreams, one after the other, again and again. I woke up after each one, but could never even remember a fraction of what they had been about. But it was like those dreams were predicting something unpleasant. Oh no. It's all downhill from here, boys. If you guys missed last chapter, you guys missed a lot. Shit started hitting the fan. Rena went full demon mode. And Mion fucking had to slap her across the fucking face. And I woke up in a terrible mood. True, I'm the same way, Keiichi. You know, if you don't get enough sleep, you start fucking morbing. Yeah? Hey now. Every day has been calm and fun before today, right? Those days should continue on unchanging. And yet, anxiety was the only emotion growing within me. Why was that? Nightmares reflect your own anxiety. They show an uneasy mind that which you wouldn't admit to normally. Yesterday, I remember the ominous conversations about Satoshi I had with Shion, Mion, and Rena. Oh god. Stop thinking about it, Keiichi. You're gonna die. She only hit head lightly, but with a serious intent, I thought. Yeah, I mean, that's close enough, right? My mind felt like it was in a black fog because we had talked about that. If I'd lived every day without causing a fuss, my reward would be ever more peaceful days. I understand that, so why did I cause such discord? But now that I thought about it calmly, a simple verbal slip on my part couldn't possibly change the world. Yeah, as long as I'm sorry for doing it and never talk about it again, there's nothing that anyone can blame me for, right? Besides, how would my fate possibly change just because I talked about that? Klugi. Nothing was going to change. Yeah, nothing would change. Nothing would change. Nothing would change. Ha 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 ha.
気持ち悪い笑い。寝ぼけてるなら顔を洗ってらっしゃい。
I finally cheered up enough to smile and Mom slapped me right back down. Now I was irritated again. There wasn't much time left before I had to meet up with Rena. I frantically started to get ready to go to school.
行って、車に気をつけるのよ。
気をつけるほど車もいないよ。南沢には。
I dashed out the front door. The morning air was far more refreshing than the water on my face. That's right, Keiichi Maibara. If you're sorry enough about it and reflect upon your mistakes, that's enough. Now let's pull yourself together and get to school and return to fun, enjoyable days where everyone laughs, plays, and just has a good time. I'll be nice to Satoko as an apology too. Yeah, wasn't I supposed to be her Nini until Satoshi got back? Rena too looked nothing like she had yesterday when she said that weird stuff. If I could only forget, then I could still act like nothing had happened. So I called out to her with all the energy I could muster.
おはようレナ。相変わらず早いな。
おはよう。おはようございます。
There was little time before the same old morning homeroom began, but Satoko and Rika-chan were unusually absent. Oh no. Maybe they went to play somewhere? However, looking over and seeing none of their things, so it looked like they really hadn't come to school.
あれれあの二人が遅刻なんて珍しいね。
Rena seemed to be enjoying herself, thinking about what their excuse for being late would be. Mion said something nonsensical as well, imagining how funny the reason they were late must have been. I had only come to school to see their energetic faces since I figured it would get rid of these feelings I have, but the load on my chest remained where it was. It wasn't very pleasant at all.
おはようございます。皆さん、委員長、号令。起立。
Our teacher finally arrived. Then finally I heard the pitter-patter of footsteps running down the hall. Oh, they're here. Clatter. Rika-chan was the first to run through the open door, and then Satoko didn't come.
遅刻ですよ、古出さん。北条さんはどうしましたか？
It was unusual for Rika-chan to be late, but equally unusual for Satoko, a ball of energy, to be absent at all. Everyone's eyes were wide at the series of strange events.
さとこはちょっと遅れるかもしれないのです。
Okay, that means she's still alive.
熱でも出ちゃいましたか？
Teacher walked over to Rika-chan and they started talking in hushed tones.
リカちゃんが遅刻でサトコが欠席なんて珍しいこともあるもんだよ。
そうだね。だけど、さとこちゃんどうしたんだろう。風邪かな。
Why now? When I most want to see Satoko's energetic face, the unease that I've been building since last night tightened within my chest.
ケイちゃんは心配しすぎ。年頃の女の子にはね、どうしても体の都合で具合が悪くなっちゃう時があるの。
みーちゃん、それ男の子の前で言うことじゃないよ。
Mion laughed indecently. Normally I would laugh along with her, but right now I just didn't feel like it. Homeroom ended and we went to talk to Rika in short time we had before first period
ようリ
started.
カちゃん、遅刻して怒られてかわいそうかわいそうだな。今日は俺がなでなでしてあげよ
I was very aware of my gloom this morning, so I strove to keep my tone cheerful. I petted Rika-chan's head the same way she always did, but she didn't cheer up at all.
みー
Uh-oh.
う。さとこはどうしたんだ？風邪か？
For instance, she got a fever from playing around too much yesterday. If that had been her response, I would have accepted it in a flash.
うん
The atmosphere around Rika-chan felt somehow heavy. It was a little weird and actually made my unease worse.
ほらほらほら、男の子には話せない事情ってのもあるんだから。
I think Mio knows exactly what happened and she's just using this as an excuse to fucking cover it up, you fucking bitch. What did you do? What'd you do to Satoko?
ケイちゃんはお席へ戻って戻って。
Mion, acting just like a club president, pulled me back to my chair. Rika-chan's gaze immediately fell back to her desk and she hung her head gloomily. Oh god. She's dead. Rika-chan had said something odd that Satoko might be a little bit late. They were living together, weren't they? Since she would have known for sure, she wouldn't have said might. I didn't understand why she was absent, and that made me all the more anxious. Damn it, what's going on today? It's like we started off on the wrong foot and it wasn't going to get any better.
どうしたのかな、ケイチくん。今日はなんだか朝から元気ないよ。
Rena noticed how I looked and whispered to me while the teacher wasn't looking.
そんなに俺元気ないか？
うん。見てるレナまで元気がなくなるくらいに。
I thought of jokingly saying, then don't look at me, but I didn't even feel like doing that.
レナに話せること？どんな悩みかわからないけど、聞いて力になれることなら聞くよ。
I won't tease you. Rena said this, looking me straight in
昨
the
日
eye.
まで何も変なことなんか起きなくて
Oh,
楽しかっ
shit.
たんだ。
Huh? Rena's eyes widened for a moment, not understanding what I meant, but she remained silent and listened.
穏やかで楽しくて毎日が賑やかで、そんな毎日が繰り返されることに何の不安もなかった。
うん、そうだね。毎日楽しいよ。きっと今日も楽しくなる。
It can't be, because Satoko's dead!
絶対にそうなるって自信が持てるか？
うん。
Rena's feelings, perplexed, couldn't think of something to say. I didn't blame her. What I was trying to say seemed a little confusing to even to
思え
me.
ばここ最近不安だったんだ。毎日が楽しいからこそある日ふっと電球が切れるみたいに突然真っ暗になってしまうんじゃないかって。
うん。その気持ち、ちょっぴりレナもわかるよ。
Rena nodded gently.
私たちはいいことばかりは続かないってずっと教えられてきたから、楽しいことの裏側を時々恐れるよね。それってちょっぴり悲しいことだけど、でもそのおかげで私たちは楽しい毎日がずっと続くように努力することを覚えたんだよ。
そうだな。
だからケイチくんが楽しい日々がいつまでも続かないかもしれないって思うのは決して悪いことじゃないと思うよ。例えば、明日突然火山が大爆発して
Okay.
私たちが全員死んじゃうとする。
おいおい、物騒な話だな。
例えばその大災害をケイチくんだけが生き残ったとしたらどう感じる？
どうって、
Survivor's guilt. I imagined myself being the sole survivor in the ruins of Hinamizawa, rubble and the bodies of friends lying in heaps at my feet. It was such an abhorrent sight. Was it sad? Was it sadder that I could? Was it sadder that all my friends had died, or was it sadder that I couldn't have died with them? I didn't know which, but I'd probably cry a lot.
胸が張り裂けるだろうな。まず泣くと思う。
そしてこう思うんじゃないかな。こうなることが運命だったなら、昨日までの日をもっともっと楽しく悔いなく過ごせばよかったって。
I didn't want to consider such a horrible event to be my destiny, but
思うだろうな。
楽しい毎日がいつか終わるものなら、それだったらたとえ明日そうなっても悔いがないように精一杯楽しく生きるのが正解じゃないのかな。
true.
そうだな。
That's why I live in the moment.
それに気づくのはとても難しいこと。多くの人たちは日々の幸せに飽食してるよ。今日と同じ明日が訪れると信じきってるから、今日してやれる優しさを明日に送ってしまう。
Rena was usually cheerful and silly, but right now she wasn't like that at all. She was taking my trouble seriously. It was a little
で
reassuring.
も圭一君はそれに気づけた。それはとても素敵なことだと思う。
Yeah, but Rena, how about Oeshiro-sama, bitch?
だからその不安な気持ち大切にしてもいいと思うの。
この不安を大切に。
そう、明日には大災害でみんな死んじゃうかもしれない。だから今日みんなにいっぱい優しくしよう。本当に週末が訪れた時後悔しないために。
Are you trying to foreshadow something, Rena?
レナは実践してるのか。明日みんなが死んじゃっても後悔しないようにさ。
It was such a hyperbolic conversation, but Rena just gave me a nonchalant nod of her head.
レナは楽しい毎日がたった一日を境に終わってしまうことを知ってるから。
Oh yeah, she does. Fucking psycho.
今日が楽しくても明日も楽しい保証なんかないって知ってるから生きてるよ精一杯。
Seemed like Rena perfectly understood all the anxiety I couldn't put into words. And on top of that, like a reliable teacher, she showed me what to do. Oh, hey, Keiichi Maraba, there's no need to cry
ゆう
now.
べ里子の夢を見た気がするんだ。
Oh shit, no, she definitely, something bad happened to her for sure.
どんな夢だったかは思い出せないけど、朝からずっと不安で。
里子ちゃんの元気な顔を見れたら安心するつもりだったかな。
She was right on the money. If everyone had been here with smiles on their faces this morning, then the murk in my heart would have definitely been blown to smithereens.
じゃあ里子ちゃんが来たら優しくしてあげることだね。いつもの悪ふざけでも一向に構わない。楽しく過ごすことができるなら。
そうだな。
So that even if these fun days come to an end, I'd have no regrets. I couldn't tell if what Rena told me had been comforting or just made me more anxious. But it was enough to make me think that if I saw Satoko again, I'd be honest with her. Lunchtime arrived with everyone pushing their desks together like always. Satoko wasn't here. Despite that, we had bento boxes for 5 lined up on our desk. Rika-chan had made a bento for Satoko too. Oh shit. What? That means I think something happened to Satoko after they left, chat. The house.
里子、お昼までには来るはずだったの？
Rika-chan was clearly acting strange. We were talking to her, but it felt like she was too far away to hear us. I'd never seen Rika-chan so downcast. So the rest of us started feeling down too. Hey Rena, I understood what she had said before pretty well. When we were together, we were supposed to have lots of fun so we wouldn't have any regrets if the world ended tomorrow. And yet, while I just resolved myself to do it, now we can't all be together. What the hell? Because it was just so sudden, wasn't it? I mean, yesterday was fun, so who could believe it would all end today? No volcanoes had erupted and no earthquakes or fires had happened either. The cicadas were making the same noise they did yesterday and the sun remained bright in the sky. was the same normal day as always. So then why? As I pondered, Rena's chopsticks reached in front of my face and stole the fried chicken out of my bento.
みんなが取らないからレナがもらうね。
Rena's a little sus, bro. I don't know. She's the only one that's a little too happy.
おいしい。
Rena tossed the entire piece into her mouth and began munching on it. Her expression one of bliss.
と、おじさんとしたことがレナに先生を許すとはね。よっしゃ。おじさんはこのプチハンバーグをもらうよ。
みえ、僕のおかずがなくなってしまうのです。
Rikachan, also behind the curve, smiled again and went for someone else's bento. As I sat there, dazed at how quickly everyone had changed, Rena sent a wink over to me. Come on, Keiichi-kun, live life to the fullest. That way, if a volcano erupts tomorrow, it'll be okay.
冗談じゃねえ。最後の弁当が梅干しとご飯だけになってたまるか。それ、俺はミートボールをいただくぞ。
I stuffed the meat into my mouth and constructed a clumsy smile. I played along as if trying to fool myself. But as I did, it rapidly became less and less of an act. Why say it like that? Bro, that's literally what it said, okay? Satoko still wasn't here. But at some point, we had regained our lively lunchtime. We had fun, we smiled, and we fooled around. Thanks, everyone. This was definitely the best thing to do. This way, when Satoko suddenly dropped by, we could welcome her with our best smiles. The more I smiled, the more I felt the anxiety from this morning clearing away.
笑う角に福来たるってことわざあったよな。
あるね。それが事実なら、おじさんは四六時中笑い転げてるよ。
レナは本当だと思うな。毎日笑ってれば毎日が楽しいよ。レナがいいことを言いますです。
じゃあ試してみるか。
Everyone took a deep breath and brought their faces together, locking shoulders. And then... Okay, Keiichi, a little too long. Everyone laughed uproariously from their stomachs, trying to laugh out all the bad stuff accumulated in them. By the time our bento boxes were empty, everyone was right as rain. Okay, are we just gonna forget about Satoko? We're gonna look for her after, right? Having heard our friendly banter, Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun walked up and timidly spoke to us.
前原さん、楽しくお話し中申し訳ないんですけど、ちょっとお力をお借りしたくて。
They grinned dryly and scratched
な
their
んだよ
heads.
一体。テストの対策法は以前教えただろ。
What? Okay, Keiichi.
ちなみに千恵先生が授業中と含み笑いを教科書で隠した時が次のテスト範囲だ。
そうなんですか？
That's not what we're here for, said Tomita-kun, elbowing Okamura-kun.
実はですね、ボールが2階の雨どいに引っかかっちゃったんですよ。前原さんなら身長高いからなんとかなるんじゃないか
Oh,
と
we're
思っ
gonna
て。
see something.
ほう、先輩に物を頼むからには何か見返りがあるんだろうな。俺は高いぜ。簡単に買収できると思うなよ。
Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun conversed for a short time, then gave their reply.
では前原さんには授業中に居眠りができる権利を与えましょう。それでどうです？
なんだそりゃ。授業中に寝るのは俺の勝手だろ。なんでお前らに権利をもらわなくちゃならんのだ。
そんなことないですよ。今度は前原さんが居眠りしたら全部先生に言い
This
つ
is
けることにします。
blackmail!
なるほど、うまいうまい。
These fucking bastards.
こいつらとんでもない交渉の仕方を覚えやがって。
すみません。 ちょっとした冗談っす。
ほらほらゲイちゃん、おとなしく後輩たちの脅迫に屈したら
And now Mion was getting on my nerves. Suddenly it came to me and I took Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun's hands.
わかった。俺の降参だ。ボールを取ってやるから、居眠りの権利を俺にくれ。見ろミオン。俺はちゃんと権利をもらった。でもお前はもらってないよな。富田君、岡村君、ミオンが居眠りしたらすぐにチクれ。いいな。
Rena and Rika-chan began to cackle at Keiichi-kun's victory. I wasn't sure how the ball managed to get stuck up there, but it was planted firmly in the school building's second floor
そ
gutter.
の棒を貸せ。俺なら多分届く。よいしょ。
Took a bamboo pole and poked the ball with it. Damn, it's hard. Come on.
あ、取れた。取れましたよ前原さん。どうもありがとうございました。
The ball rolled down the gutter and fell behind the school building. Uh-oh. My underclassmen ran over in that direction, leaving me by myself. Mission complete, I guess. Sheesh. There's still a lot of time left until lunch break was over. I had to go back to the classroom. I'd absorb myself in a silly conversation with everyone and wait for afternoon class. Just when I thought that and turned towards the entrance, someone suddenly called out to me.
どうもどうも、こんにちは。
It's over! Oh no, the happy moments are gone. Oishi's appearing. Oh no, here we go.
お昼休み中すみませんね。
It was a middle-aged man I didn't know. Or maybe I'd passed by him a few times and seen his face, but I didn't know him. When his half-smile deepened, something within me shuddered with fear. There was no basis for that, no reason, but I shuddered. I was somewhat confused about those emotions, not quite understanding them myself. There was one thing I could say, though. Nobody but teachers and students should be at school. This person shouldn't have been here. I felt less of a tremble and more of a sense of dread, like a caterpillar, brilliantly colored in garish bilious greens, were crawling across my forehead. A feeling of disgust that neither itchy nor gross could describe as the frizzly, dreadful hair rubbed against my brow. I didn't even want to see his face. Bro, this is why I feel like, to a certain extent, it is a continuity. I don't think every time something happens, we like fully die. It's like I think it's like some type of weird like reset where we keep memories, you know? I want to jump backwards and run away. An unpleasant feeling for which I didn't even know the cause. The other side of myself has nothing but questions. Hey, what are you doing? What are you disgusted by? This is the first time you've met him. It's rude to hate someone for no reason. No answers were coming. I held my silence, waiting, a damp sweat running down my forehead. When he saw that, Oishi-san thought maybe he was being intimidating and gave me a relaxed smile.
ああ、失礼しました。怪しいもんじゃないんですよ。私、沖宮警察署から参りました。大石と申します。あれ、手帳どこかな。あれ参ったな。ありゃ
God! Oishi is such a fucking staller. He fished through various pockets and finally found his police ID and showed it to me, grinning dryly. He may have been trying to use those clumsy seeming actions to ease my anxiety, but I could definitely say it didn't work. Ooh. Why was I this nervous? There was a reason, of course. If I wanted today to be the same as before, then today didn't need someone who hadn't been here back then. Ooh, he's right. The fact that a man who wasn't here yesterday showed up today meant that today would be a different day than those before it. Oh, hang on, chat. Wait. Give me a second, I gotta check something real quick. Okay. All right. That would mark the end of the fun and happy days. I gulped and erased that ominous conclusion from my mind. Calm down, Keiichi Marbara. It's just an old guy who looks kind of perverted and came from the police department. Don't go deciding that the fun times are over. He just came here because of his job. Yeah, just for his job. If he's working, then he would normally go to the teacher's lounge, right? The fact that he spoke to me, yes, it must have been to ask where it was.
職員室をお探しですか？なら、あそこの昇降口から入って。
Oh. I didn't want to look at this man for another second, so I started pushing things along. Ooishi, however, didn't seem to have any interest in the teacher's lounge.
ああ、いえいえ。職員室にはそんなに用事はないんです。それより、お友達を呼んでもらいたいんですが、お願いできますかね。
Mion?
お友達？誰です？
Or Satoko?
女の子です。北条聡子さんを呼んできてもらえませんか。
She's dead. My consciousness grew faint, like I was about to pass out. Yes, my anxiety was realized. The dreadful, disgusting caterpillars were looking at me, about to crawl into my ear. Its frizzly, dreadful hair was touching my ear cavity. That's how bad it felt.
警察がサトコに何の用ですか？
Oh shit.
いえいえいえ。大した用事じゃないんです。2、3聞きたいことがありまして。ご協力をいただければ嬉しいんですがね。
Why? Why of all people was it Satoko? Why would a police officer come here in the middle of the day for something that wasn't important? This man was strange. I could smell it. And it smelled bad. Just a whiff of it made me want to grimace. True. Boy, she smells like shit. I knew that this man couldn't possibly be here to deliver her lost wallet or anything. I couldn't imagine what he needed from Satoko, but it had to be something unpleasant. My throat stung with burning pain, burned like a parched, creviced wasteland. The wasteland broke apart deep in my throat and brought out the words from deep in my mind.
あんたに用はあっても、サトコにはないと思います。帰ってくれませんか？
Well, she probably hadn't expected that reply. He stood there, surprised for a few moments. I did as well. I hadn't thought words like that could ever come out of my mouth. Things might still work out. This guy may have shown up out of the blue, but if I drove him off, maybe I could make it so that it never happened. If I could do that, then I could go back. The peace we had until yesterday, I could get it back.
これは手厳しいな。あなた、聡子さんのマネージャーさんですかな？
Okay, no.
アポイントメントがないと面会は叶いませんか？
話がしたいだけなら、
Huh?
電話ですればいいじゃないですか。
No.
日中、学校にまで押しかけてくるなんて明らかに異常です。
Breaking through a dam would have been perfect analogy to use. Why didn't I like this man? This man shouldn't have been here. I needed to make it so that this man wasn't here. Childish, selfish emotions bubbled up from the depths of my mind, and they each came out of my mouth just as it had been formed. Not liking the guy was my own problem, but to say things so bluntly to him, even I thought I was crazy.
ありゃ、いちいち正論な方ですね。こういう い方をする人は苦手なんだよな。
Ooishi grinned and scratched at his sweaty throat. Even as he feigned stupidity, I could tell he was irritated. Hey, Keiichi Marabara, why am I looking for a fight with this old policeman here? It's not like he brought the gift of misfortune with him, all wrapped up in paper, right? Right. It wasn't like he had brought a package of misfortune with him and was asking me to sign here, please. Rationally speaking, I understood all that. So then, why was I so... Finally, I outlasted Ooishi in our game of silence, and he gave a big sigh. Then he addressed a few of my female underclassmen running around nearby.
ああ、もしもし、君たち。
Oh shit.
ちょっといいですかな。北条聡子さんを呼んできてほしいんですがね。
Oh no, they're gonna snitch. Underclassmen tried to smile in reply, but they noticed the oddly stiff air atmosphere around me and seemed hesitant to give a quick answer.
いませんか、北条聡子さんは。
北条さんは今日はお休みですけど。
休み。
His face remained smiling, but his tone was clearly one of ill humor. Such conspicuous spite caused my underclassmen, who had answered honestly, to cringe in fear.
そうですか。いやはやいやはや。これはついてないです。
He probably already checked the house and she wasn't there. He was smiling broadly, but the way he laughed didn't make me feel better at all. When he noticed that his laughter wasn't getting anyone else to laugh with him, he immediately stopped.
で、
Krusty now, they were at 43.
君たち、ここにいるお兄さんは、なんて名前か教えてくれますか？
Oh shit.
ん？
He grabbed the girls by the shoulders so they wouldn't run away. Whoa! Get your hands off them, freak! And crouched down to address them at eye level. The girls flinched away from the sharp, piercing light in his eyes. And in exchange for their release, they didn't resist and told him my name. What the bunch of snitches?
ほう、前原圭一さんですか。
He said my full name. That was all he said, and yet I couldn't help but shudder. It was like he had grabbed me by the collar with just with those words.
あなたひょっとして例の前原屋敷の御曹司。お父さん、高名な芸術家さんなんですってね。
Doxed, actually.
年に2回ほど東京の大展覧会に出展されてるそうじゃないですか。どんな立派な絵を描かれるかは存じませんがね。お母さんも知的そうな方じゃないですか。高学歴って聞きましたよ。どこぞの女子大を出られてるそうじゃないですか。あの年の女性で女子大でなんてすごいですよ。ひょっとしてお母さん、両家のお嬢さんなんじゃないですか。
Why the fuck do you know all this about my family, freak?
なんて噂が立ってるせいか。冷たい人だなんて噂が立てられてるなんてご存知で。
Is Keiichi's mom a Sonozaki?
町内会の会合、最初の1回以外は出てないでしょう。
She's been in on it the whole time, maybe, and that's why conveniently our family gets fucking leaves every time I need to be quote-unquote taken care of and deleted. And she's part of the fucking entire thing, and she's secretly making sure that I'm gone.
そういうのっていけないんですよね。こういう土地ではご近所付き合いをないがしろになんかできませんよ。
Stop laughing like that, weirdo. Sense of eeriness slithered up my spine. That was my first experience of true terror. I couldn't believe it felt this terrible for someone you've just met to know everything about you already. Ooishi clamped onto my shoulders and brought his eyes close to peer into mine. Okay, buddy, like, what the fuck? Stop touching kids.
こういう土地ではね、敵は作らない方が絶対にいいですよ。 さもないと。
Arrest this guy? Yeah, he's the cop though, so who's arresting him? Oh my god, bro, let go! Oishi dug into my shoulders with inhuman strength. Gah!
思わぬところで不利益を受けるかもしれません。因果応報という言葉もありますよ。
Oh my god, bro, this is like a different Oishi. We're getting like evil Oishi.
風が吹けば桶屋が儲かるの正反対です。
No, that's called Murphy's Law.
妙なところで買った恨みが信じられないところで返ってくることがあるかもしれません。そうなったら嫌でしょう。誰だって恨みなんか買いたくないんです。
Grown ass man beefing with a kid? True. Murphy's Law is other thing? Wait, is Murphy's Law is anything that could happen will happen? Oh, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Okay, no, that's different. What is it? What is the thing where it's like a butterfly? Oh, is this just a butterfly effect? Oh no, I'm actually stupid. It's a butterfly effect. Jesus Christ, bro. I said Murphy's Law. Jesus Christ. Yeah, my bad. Well, technically, actually, in the context of what Oishi was saying, Murphy's Law kind of works in the context because he said a butterfly flapping could cause a tornado, and that is a negative, reaction. So technically, it could work. Yeah, you know.
敵を作らないに越したことなんかない。ん？どうしました？
That's not true, Oishi. What if you're farming rage baiters or angry people on YouTube?
肩がだいぶ凝ってますね。ちょっと揉んであげましょうか。
Whoa. This guy's a creep, bro. I'm a fucking like 14-year-old kid and he's fucking...
ほら、気持ちいいでしょ。
What the fuck? The certified freak. Ow. This man wasn't just strong. It was like he knew exactly where to press to make me feel pain. God, only 4 or 5 fingers were on my shoulders, and yet the pain made me want to bend over backwards. Urgh. A few of the girls from my class were pretty shaken up, but didn't seem to want to help me. They weren't sure if they should call the teacher. Call me on! As for me, I couldn't take the time to wait until the teacher got here. It hurts!
もうそれくらいになさってください。
Oh, I'm telling you, Chad, this guy's fucking... I don't trust this guy. This guy's... Irie's a fucking...
痛がってますよ。
え？
Behind Oishi-san, someone... To my disbelief, it was the coach.
おや、これは入江先生じゃありませんか。
Oh, he's a doctor now, huh?
ご無沙汰しておりますね。
I was right. He was a doctor at the clinic, chat. Discomforted by Coach's sudden appearance, Oishi laughed scornfully. The vice on my shoulders, however, remained as strong as ever.
挨拶はいいです。それよりも、前原くんを離してあげてください。
Oishi smiled daringly and glared straight at Coach. He didn't release me in the meantime, of course.
先生のところにも後でお伺いしようと思っていたんですよ。いつもお忙しいとかで、ろくろくお話ができませんからね。
Yeah, I wonder what he's always busy with, huh?
ええ。お望みとあれば、いくらでもお話を伺いますよ。でもその前に、令状をお持ちになってください。職務質問と任意同行は拒否できますからね。
Coach didn't display a shred of weird behavior he's shown at the baseball game and barbecue. He stared steadily at Oishi and fought so that he would release me. His chances were terribly bad, of course. Compared to the relaxed Oishi, Coach seemed like he was being defeated mentally. It made sense. Coach had a somewhat narrow stature, but Oishi's body was packed with muscles. Oh yeah, nah, listen, Coach, you ain't beating Oishi in a 1v1. Oishi's kind of fucking juiced. Okay. But Coach was fighting for me without taking a step back. Beads of sweat formed on his face, and though he paled, he was fighting for my sake. Suddenly, Oishi laughed and let go of my shoulders. My body exhausted, I fell right onto my
前原
backside.
君大丈夫ですか？
くそ。いってててて。
I rubbed my shoulders where Oishi had latched onto them. The pain from falling over went away quickly, but this pain was lingering.
大丈夫ですか前原君。ひどいことを。
くそ。いててて。
ちょっと肩を揉んだだけじゃないですか。前原さんも少し大げさすぎですよ。男の子はもう少し我慢強くなくっちゃ。
I guess the older sprites don't move their mouth. I wanted to retort, but I couldn't think of anything witty.
肩は上がりますか？痛みますか？痛みが強いようなら、ちゃんと診察をした方がいい。
You're a fucking doctor. Why don't you do a checkup?
とにかく保健室へ。
Coach lent me his shoulder and walked beside me.
大げさですね。私に限って傷が残るような真似をするわけがないじゃないですか。ねえ。私、これでも現職の警察官なんですよ。
さあ、どんなご用があったか存じませんが、もうご用がないならお帰りを。今日のことは、今度所長さんに直接抗議しますから。
それは困りますね。
Oishi-san waved his hand sarcastically, pivoted around, and headed to the car parked by the school gates. And without turning back around, he got in and started the engine. Damn it. Who the hell was he? Damn it.
大石クランドという乱暴者でね。
Maybe chapter to chapter, we're slowly becoming more and more brainwashed to, like, love Hinamizawa. You know? Like, all the people, like, early chapters, Oishi was on our side, and we saw Oishi as, like, a way out, as a fellow, like, quote-unquote outsider. But now we're, like, more and more Oishi is, like, appearing as, like, being depicted as, like, you know, not so much on our side.
村中に嫌われている
And
男
now
です。
Irie is here to fucking, you know, get us in, the team.
前原さんも用心した方がいい。
Karado Oishi. Just like I thought, my gut instinct wasn't wrong. He would be the one to bring unhappiness, misfortune, and something that would ruin our peace. Shit, I won't accept it. All these fun days can't possibly end just because some guy like him showed up. But where is Satoko? I won't accept it. Coach seemed to be familiar with the school, so he brought me to the nurse's office without much trouble. The girls from my class came along as well, looking worried. Our teacher and the principal, having noticed the disturbance, came to see what was the matter.
前原くん、どうしたんですか？怪我でも。
前原さん、さっき校庭で変なおじさんに。
Coach gently interrupted the girls trying to explain.
いえ、ちょっと転んでひねったみたいです。大丈夫だとは思いますけど、念のためと思いましてね。
Why does he wanna not mention Oishi?
保健室をちょっとお借りいたします。
入江先生、よろしくお願いしますぞ。
The principal gave him a deep bow. It looked like Coach was acquainted with the adults at school. He slid open the doors to the nurse's office, but there wasn't a nurse in there or anything. I'd figured. I'd never seen anyone but Chia-sensei and the principal working here. Coach didn't seem to mind the fact that there was no nurse and quickly made his way into the nurse's office. He instructed me to sit down and started washing his hand in the sink. Oh, I get it. He's the coach for the boys' baseball team. He must be pretty used to treating wounds with first aid. No, he's a fucking doctor.
ちょっと患部を見せてもらえますか？まだ痛みます？
いえ、もう全然痛みません。本当に大丈夫です。
I rolled up my shirt and showed him my shoulder. No bruise, not even nail marks. And yet it had hurt so much I thought my shoulders would be crushed. Even the pain had disappeared without a trace. It hurt so much, but not so much as a bruise remained.
それだけあいつが慣れているということですよ。
Used to it, huh?
今度会った時は挑発しないことです。あいつを怒らせて得をすることは何もありませんからね。自宅に制服警官を連れて押しかけてきたら、ご家族だっていい気持ちはしないでしょ。
それは 確かに。
しかし何があったんです？前原さんがあいつと喧嘩になるなんて。
あいつ里子に用事があるとか言ってき
Why do I
て。
feel like Oishi-san will die this time?
え？
Uh-oh.
里子ちゃんにですか？
Coach's gaze lowered and his expression clouded a bit. Somehow that gesture seemed to be saying Oishi was bound to come to Satoko and did, and that it was no laughing matter. Coach fell silent in thought. Quietly, he took a compress out of the first aid kit and put it on me.
あの男はまだ里子ちゃんにつきまとうつもりなんでしょうか？本当に蛇みたいにしつこい男です。
Clinging? Coach mumbled to
つきま
himself.
とう？あの大石っていうやつ、たびたび里子のところへ来てるんですか？
Coach didn't answer, but the lack of denial served well enough. What on earth did the policeman, probably a detective or something, need from Satoko? What mistake had led a detective to cling to the sweetly smiling Satoko?
前原さんは、そうか、引っ越してきたばかりでしたね。
ええ、そうですけど。
お社様のたたりと里子ちゃんの話は少しは聞いたことがありますか？
Well, I knew a few things about it, certainly.
里子の両親がダム計画の賛成派で、転落事故で死んだのはタタリだって話ですか？
Coach smiled thinly and dryly. So you know, he said, dropping his gaze. If I recall correctly, there was an accident on a viewing platform at the public park she'd gone to with her family and her parents died. And then it was just a big brother and little sister. And then she was with Rika-chan and...
ご両親が亡くなった里子ちゃんとお兄さんのさとしくんはおじ夫婦宅に身を寄せることになりました。
え、あ、そうなんですか。
Her parents died in an accident and Satoshi ran away, leaving only Satoko to start living with Rika-chan. I'd known that much, but this was the first time I heard they'd been brought to their uncle and aunt.
おじというのは里子ちゃんのお父さんの弟にあたる方なんですがね。残念なことに夫婦揃ってちょっと尊敬に値する方々ではありませんでした。
Coach normally picked his words politely, so when he came out and said that they didn't deserve respect, it really made me wonder what kind of people they were.
里子ちゃんの両親がダムに賛成していたとばっちりで、おじ夫婦も村内ではとても肩身の狭い思いをしていましたからね。里子ちゃんたちを歓迎するはずもなかったんです。里子ちゃんたち兄弟にとってとても辛い生活だったと聞きを読んでいます。
Bit by bit, Coach told me about the numerous agonies the Hojo siblings had suffered at their uncle's house. As their guardians, their aunt and uncle sucked up everything belonging to their immediate family. Satoko and Satoshi were crammed into a small room, and their lives were laden with things that were miserable both with their bodies and minds. In the first place, since apparently their aunt and uncle weren't on good terms, there was no end to their fighting. And as if in revenge for that, whenever they saw Satoko or Satoshi's face, they would always find fault with them, scold them, yell at them, strike them, and take away meals as punishment.
今思い出してもゾッとします。今の元気な里子ちゃんしか知らないあなたには土毛色の顔をしてただ日陰でぼーっとしているだけの彼女など想像もつかないでしょう。
Couldn't imagine it, I didn't want to. That was how I honestly felt. But at the very least, Satoko wasn't like that anymore. She may have had a miserable life in the past, but it's different now. Something happened to change that life.
去年の綿流しのお祭りの夜にね、おばが死んでしまったんです。異常者にバットか何かで殴り殺されて。綿流しの祭りの夜には村の旧敵がたたりで死ぬと噂されてましたからね。この死も単なる殺人事件としてだけでなく、お社様のたたりではないかと村中でささやかれました。
2 days later, the deviant arrested for drug use confessed to further offenses and the incident was resolved. However, though it was resolved, no one knew whether the part about it being Oishiro-sama's curse was true or not.
おじだって平見沢の人間ですからね。お社様のたたりを大層怖がり、逃げ出して雲隠れしてしまったそうです。聞いた話では、沖宮あたりの実婚の中の女性宅に転がり込んでるとか。
それで解放されたんですか？里子たちは。
おばは死に、おじは逃げ出し、誰も兄弟をいじめる者はいなくなるはずだったんですが、まるでその後を継ぐように、あの男が執拗に現れるようになったんです。
あの男？
And Coach lowered his voice just a bit as if being aware of his surroundings.
大石です。
大石。さっきの男。
I feel like he's just lying to us. Like, where's this coming from? The events that just occurred came back to me. The hard to describe ominous sensation I had felt from him came back to
あ
me.
いつは少しおかしいんですよ。
It's probably because Satoshi was maybe an in for him to try to figure out what the fuck's happening in the village. Just like Keiichi was.
お社様のたたりをめぐる一連の事件はみんな解決しているのに、あいつだけがそれを認めていないんです。
Accept it. The incidents were all solved and a detective supposedly with the police department didn't accept
あいつ
that.
が近づく人間には必ず何かよからぬことが起こると言われています。ひなみ沢ではね、大石のことをお社様の
Door flew open with a rattle and Mion came rushing in. Rena and Rika-chan came running in a few steps behind her, and then Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and a few more of her classmates.
ケイちゃん、大石にやられたの？怪我を？
落ち着いてミオンさん、怪我はありませんよ。念のため疾走しているだけです。
ケイチ君、本当に大丈夫かな？かな？
Oh.
みんなに聞いたら首を締め上げられてたとか言ってて。
落ち着けよレナ。肩をすげえ痛く握られただけだ。ほら、あざだってないだろ。
たく、あんたら何やってんだよ。仲間だろ。
SMH missed law.
I was hacked with a 1 year. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you.
なんでぼーっとしてたんだよ。なんでケイちゃんを助けなかったんだよ。
Oh my god, she's fucking mad.
ごめんなさい、委員長。
Mion yelled at her classmates, baring her fangs. Tomita-kun and the others hung their heads in silence.
よせよミオン。富田君たちはその場にいなかったんだ。責めるのはよせ。
くしょう。大石のやつ。
Oh, she's gonna kill Ooishi. Mion kicked the floor with her heels a few times, her temper running hot. Our teacher, overhearing the commotion, arrived as well.
こらこらこら。保健室で騒がしくしてはいけません。委員長、みんなを連れて保健室から出なさい。
ほらみんな、もう行こう。ケイチ君は大丈夫だって。ほら、みーちゃんも。
Mion was letting her emotions get the best of her, so Rena stepped in instead and let everyone out of the office. The detective from Okinomiya Station, Karaudo Ooishi. It looked like the first impression I'd gotten from him hadn't been mistaken. Satoko's absence had amplified the vague apprehension I'd felt since yesterday, and Oishi's appearance basically sealed the deal.
さて、じゃあ私はこれで失礼します。もともと千恵先生に用事があってきたんです。
あ、用事があって学校に来たんですよね。俺なんかのためにどうもすみませんでした。
Clueless. Did he? I bet he didn't. Don't be so humble, he said, smiling easily.
おかげで役得と言いますか。
Why can't you say crowdo? I don't know. Crowdo just sounds like I'm trying to say crowd with an Asian accent. Like crowdo. There was a side benefit to all this?
前原くんのきめ細やかなお肌も存分に堪能できましたよ。
Okay. Weirdo.
はふー。
The usual for Coach anyway. Party words. He instead continued.
では、失礼します。
Fucking weirdo, bro. This guy needs to be arrested.
大した怪我ではありませんが、患部を揉んだりするようなことはくれぐれも避けてください。もしも高熱が出たり腫れたりするようなことがあったらすぐに連絡してくださいね。そんなことはないと思いますが。
あ、そうだ監督、さっきみんなが来る直前何か大石のことをお社様のなんとかって。
As he was about to leave the nurse's office, Coach placed a hand on the door and stopped.
ああ、お社様の使いですよ。
I mean, if Ooishi is part of it in some way, chat, it just wouldn't make sense. I feel like Irie is trying to fill our heads with propaganda and brainwash us. I don't trust this motherfucker. No. I think he's just trying to brainwash us.
もちろん悪口ですがね。
お社様の使い？
前原さんはひなみ沢で毎年綿流しの夜に起こるひなみ沢村連続開始事件、通称
Yeah, but how the fuck would Ooishi have any part to do with those? Now that I thought about it, I did seem to remember overhearing Mion or someone in class talking about it like a ghost story. On the festival day in June, one person would always die, and another person would be spirited away, but they seem to call it demoning in a way here. What a fine story that was. I figured they made it up to scare me, but it was true?
一体どこの誰が言い出したのかもわからない話ですが、いつの頃からか大石のことをお社様の使いと呼ぶようになりました。
Yeah, I think he's projecting. I think Irie is the fucking Orishiro-sama's servant, bro.
なぜですか？
あの男がそっと噂されているからです。
Whenever June came around, Ooishi would start paying frequent visits to Hinamizawa.
亡くなったり消えたりする人たちの多くがあの男の執拗な訪問を受けているからです。
4 years ago, it was known that the victim of the dismemberment, rumored to be the sacrifice, had been seeing Ooishi numerous times leading up to the incident. The sacrifice 3 years ago were Satoko's parents. Right before their accidental deaths, Ooishi had apparently visited their home. The one who disappeared 2 years ago was Rika-chan's mother. And again, people know that before she vanished, Ooishi had been talking to her extremely frequently. The one who disappeared last year was Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Satoshi too had apparently been approached by Ooishi many times before he vanished. And then this year, this time Ooishi was trying to contact Satoko.
冗談じゃないです。
噂ですよ、前原さん。そういう噂があるという。
I hadn't said that because of the rumors of Ooishi being Oishiro-sama's servant or his contacting someone foreshadowing who would be sacrificed that year. It was because the ominous hatred I felt towards Ooishi was becoming more substantial, more real.
サトコ、今日欠席したじゃないですか。
え？そうなんですか？
That looked like news to Coach. I thought he might have known why Satoko was absent today, but
では失礼します。前原くんも早くみんなのところに行って安心させてあげるといいでしょう。
そうですね。そうします。
Coach left the nurse's office and headed towards the teacher's lounge. One more? Wow, that was a whole chapter? That was a perfect paced chapter. Hey, now I'm gonna go eat dinner with Lily. Learn Satoko's secret. I didn't learn shit. What do you mean? Alright, tomorrow, chat. 2 chapters tomorrow? I think we do 2 chapters tomorrow, yeah? I think that's a good idea. Alright, I hope Orashiro-sama curse gets you. Why would you wish that on anybody, you fucking demon? Okay? You should never pray that on anybody, you monster. You want me to get fucking killed? Alright, 2 chapters tomorrow. No bet. It might happen, it might not. Who knows? I'm not betting anything, okay? You can choose to believe me or not. It is what it is. Are you waking up early for Do It Night Abyss livestream? No. We are sponsored for it, but I think they're letting me just react to it at normal time because obviously it'll have like a way bigger reach if we just stream it at normal time rather than at 5 a.m. in the morning. Anyways, chat, I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Very nice ZZZ segment of Vertbog of big fun. Thank you. I'll send you guys over to Ruby. Good night. Literally no one's believing you in this chat, old man. Keep calling me old. I'll turn into Ooishi, motherfucker, and then I'm gonna fucking appear in your goddamn... I'll appear in front of your school. And then boom. You're gonna get the Oyashiro-sama's curse, bitch. Bye-bye!